please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7 scene lands of the Magic Kingdom.
Welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. This is Justin Monorail, and this is episode number 211 of the Monday Morning Monorail. It's July 22nd, 2024, and we are ready to bring you another exciting episode of the show with theme park news and more. But before we get to all of that, I've got to welcome in my co-host. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for Landon, the Doz Doan.
Hi, everybody, coming in from the Isolation Station of Love. It's me, it's the D-O-Z, Landon, the Doz Doan, and it's a Monday morning. You know what that means. Hi, Jay. How are things?
I mean, let's not get into it. Oh, technology.
Oh, we're stretching our legs here in the Riverside studio, are we?
Giving it a shot.
Gonna go hang out with Jughead and Archie after the show. So, there's that.
Yes, we are trying a new recording platform today, and I'm just crossing my fingers that it stays up and we get the audio. And I mean, that's my only concern. I was really hoping we were going to be able to use it to do the music drops and stuff, but guess what? That's not going to work.
Absolutely not. We've tried it twice. First time I couldn't hear it. Second time I could hear it, but apparently it sounded like doo-doo butter on Jay's end. So we said nope to that one. So here we are. Also, most importantly, I just realized Archie and Jughead went to Riverdale, not Riverside.
Oh,
so
well,
my joke didn't land. I apologize. I'll see myself out of the Riverside studios. My bad.
No worries. I was not going to question you, although we do know that we have people who probably would have in the comments.
Well, actually, in season 1, episode 4. Because remember, they got a full-blown daggone show on CW. Like,
oh, they did.
Yeah,
Riverdale,
and it had fans, very passionate fans at that.
And then we got a Sabrina show as a
Oh, that's
spin-off.
right. Yeah, that was a spinoff of that. Yeah. What the age?
Universe. It's funny because when originally Sabrina was on the air, played by Melissa Joan Hart.
The true Sabrina.
I had no idea that was a character that was created from Archie.
Me neither, man. Me neither. Had no idea. But man, did I watch every Friday night. That was part of TGIF, right?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So. That was part of an iteration of TGIF.
Yeah.
Man, TGIF back in the day and Snick. It was that was some good times to be a good boy, youngin. One of those good boys that stayed home and listened to their parents. Also, if you're a youngin, listen to your parents.
And stay home and watch Friday night TV. Although I don't know.
Don't go to parties or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are not a TGIF, nor are we a Riverdale. God bless. We're off to such a good start today. My tongue is tied in knots.
Yeah, and you're not the one drinking beer either.
No, I'm drinking water from my neon green Stanley. Yes,
that
ladies and gentlemen.
That does look cool.
I have joined the Stanley Nation.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that is a legit Stanley, logo and everything. All right, okay.
Yeah. Casey got a neon green one and a neon pink one. And for a while, it was said that the pink one was mine, which would have been fine. But then I kept getting I really like that green one. It looks like a canister of ooze.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was getting Slimer vibes off of it.
Yeah, so I get green, and I'm happy with it.
Very cool.
We're not a Stanley podcast. We are a theme park podcast, and we do have headlines to bring you today. And at the end of the day, the final segment, we'll have a little discussion topic that we're excited about. Oh, and if you didn't notice already, you got to visit the Monday Morning Monorail website. You can go to morningmonorail.com. We got the blog up and running again. It's exciting times. Yeah, we're this week, by the way, I don't have this as one of our articles, but the brand new iteration of Lightning Lane starts this week. As you're listening to this, it'll be Wednesday, that on July 24th, we will be using Lightning Lane multi-pass and single pass. And if you still are confused about how all that works, you can go check out our blog on morningmonorail.com.
I'm raising my hand. I know that doesn't translate to audio formats, but yes, I was just getting used to Lightning Lane, and they not only did they change the question, they changed the answer as well. So there's that. Yeah.
Well,
do what now?
And if you wanted a kind of a too long didn't read version, if you know FastPass Plus and you were familiar with FastPass Plus, it's basically going to be that. You just can't book it as early, and now you got to pay for it. So.
Fantastic. Thanks, Disney. That said, I got a trip coming up in September, as we talked about last week. And hey, Jay asked me if I'm going to be using FastPass Plus 2.0.
Landon, will you be using FastPass?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So there's that.
Well, maybe you want to take a look at the blog on morningmonorail.com and get a full rundown of how that's going to work for you. And there's even tips on how to find it in the app and everything like that. So go check it out.
That sounds like a great read. One more time, where could I find that?
morningmonorail.com and go to the Parks blog. There's a link on the main page to the Parks blog, and you can check that out. Steffers is writing some good stuff about Halloween Horror Nights as well, so you can check that out.
Man,
all kinds of fun things.
Even though she's not with us, Steffers is killing it. I really feel like I need to pick up my my game over here. I mean, I won't, but I feel like I need to.
I think you should start like a daily vlog of just what a day in the life of Landon is like. You can post that to our website.
That will be the most interesting and sad and boring read ever.
No. I want video. I want this to go to the YouTube. Like,
I have to vlog now.
Yeah, I want you to vlog.
Ooh, maybe I could do like a T-shirt of the day. I do say I have the strongest T-shirt game in all of Knoxville radio. So there's that. Like I don't know if any video is going to come of this, but I'm wearing my Tony Vitello Rifleman Vol logo T-shirt right now. So there's that.
That's perfect. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to release this video. I was thinking because this website.
We don't know if this audio is going to be released, honestly, with the way Riverdale's going right now. So
that's true. Yeah. But fingers crossed that it will. And if it does, if it works, I was considering using some of like the video snippets to release like little tasty little morsels of content that might bring people over to listen to the show.
Everybody loves tasty little morsels.
And I think you and I both are tasty little morsels.
We are. Though I wish I got a heads up that I was going to be on video because I would have showered.
I actually did shower this morning for the first time this weekend. I've been very indoorsy this weekend.
Oh, dude, baby, same. College football 25 dropped on Friday, and I have not seen the sun since it. Well, no, that's not true. I actually, because I have the Zoe pup, I have to take her out to do her business. So other than that, no, it's like I haven't even gone to the mailbox. It's like it's all about that college football 25 life, baby.
That's right. Well, with that in mind, I want you to be able to get back to your dynasty as soon as possible. So, hey, why don't we jump into the theme park headlines that matter? That's right, dreamers. We're back once again with the headlines from across the theme parks in Central Florida. We've scoured the internet and brought the important information back to you, and we're going to serve it up right here on a monorail silver platter. Let's start at Disney, as we typically do. And very nice news, very exciting news for people who are going to be doing the extended evening hours at Magic Kingdom. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is going to be offered during extended evening hours. But if you know anything about Tiana's Bayou Adventure, you know that it has launched as part of virtual queue. So the question becomes, how do you do that? If you've got Tiana's open during extended evening hours, a lot of times resort guests are going to come over to the parks maybe a little bit later, and they might not be in the parks at 1 o'clock to get a virtual queue for Tiana. Well, through www.magic.com, we have learned that at 6 p.m. on nights with extended evening theme park hours at Magic Kingdom, guests can request to join the virtual queue for both Tiana's Bayou Adventure and Tron Light Cycle Run. Guests do not need to be in the Magic Kingdom when they request that virtual queue. However, keep in mind that these extended evening hours are specifically for resort guests. If you're staying at a Walt Disney World resort, including the Walt Disney World Swan, Dolphin, and Reserve, you can request to join the queue at 6 p.m. for Tiana's Bayou Adventure and Tron Light Cycle Run. That's pretty nice. You don't even have to be in the park. That's a good perk.
Oh, 1,000%. I love the fact that, you have the option to join a late virtual queue. Now, granted, I think it'd be cooler if there was just, standby, but that's just me. But also the fact that you don't have to be in the Magic Kingdom to request to join it, I think is even better. You did give the caveat you have to be a resort guest. So, it's not available to everybody, which is kind of a bummer. But on the flip side, if you are a resort guest, I would imagine lines aren't going to be that much. Because, it's well, first of all, you're not standing in lines. I understand. Maybe I could have used a better analogy. But at the same time, it's like it's not like everybody in Magic Kingdom is going to be trying to get in that virtual queue like it is in Hollywood Studios. When 1 o'clock rolls around, everybody's just refreshing their My Disney Experience app to try and get in Rise of the Resistance. So I think this is an interesting and cool addition there in Magic Kingdom. And if you want to get on Tiana's Bayou Adventure and you are staying on the resorts, I think this pretty much guarantees you're at least going to have one ride on it.
Yeah. I do feel like we need to specify this is specifically for Disney Deluxe and Disney Deluxe Villa resorts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you're at a moderate or a value resort, you're not going to get this benefit. Which I'll be honest, I forgot that they had only extended the evening hour opportunity to Deluxe.
Once again, a little Disney pay to play stuff.
Yeah, but it does include the Swan Dolphin, Swan Reserve, and Shades of Green at Walt Disney World. So, yes, I don't know. I remember talking about this at the time. I do kind of feel like it makes sense that if you're paying more for your stay, that maybe you should get a little more benefit. Now, one thing to keep in mind is every person that stays on Walt Disney World Resort property does get access to the extra Magic in the Morning hours, which is the 30-minute opening at all the parks every day. So that's something I forgot about before, and then I got roasted, let me tell you.
Yeah, man, I would have hate to be in your shoes that week, even though you do have phenomenal shoes. So,
oh, thanks. I got a pretty good shoe game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, while we're talking about extended evening hours, here's something to keep in mind as well. We just talked about how extended evening hours are going to work at the Magic Kingdom for Tiana's Bayou Adventure and Tron. But, as we get into the holiday season and we're talking about the not so scary time periods and then also very merry, or as we like to call it, the very Mickey Mouse Christmas party at Magic Kingdom, those events end up happening on the nights where there should be extended evening hours. So because of that, the extended evening hour perk is going to be moving to Hollywood Studios from Magic Kingdom starting in September. So starting Wednesday, September 25th, the Wednesday extra evening hours, extended evening hours, are going to shift from Magic Kingdom to Hollywood Studios. So that's something to keep in mind if you are going to be down at Walt Disney World staying at one of those deluxe or deluxe villa properties. I think Hollywood Studios is a great park to have that extended evening hour perk. First of all, I mean, all the parks are beautiful at night. Hollywood Studios, I think, really shines at night. You get that neon lit up down Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset Boulevard, and then seeing Star Wars Land, go over to Batuu, seeing that at night, it's wonderful.
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
But like not having to wait an hour to ride Slinky Dog and
I was going to say Toy Story Land looks kind of cool at night too.
Toy Story Land's great. Yeah,
and speaking on Slinky Dog, like that view you get at night, like that little peek you get looking into Batuu. It's like, I know some Disney fans, it's like, oh it breaks it breaks the immersion because you can see into other. It's like to quote Uncle Baby Billy from Righteous Gemstones, go outside, nerd. But it's just such a cool view. Like and honestly, it's like I would rather go to the extended evening hours in Hollywood Studios than in Magic Kingdom, because I just think there are better attractions and better stuff to do in Hollywood Studios than in Magic Kingdom.
Wow. That's a pretty hot take there, Mr. Landon the Doz Dome. I mean,
especially now that Rock and Roller Coaster's back open.
Yeah. It would be very interesting. And this maybe is something we could do with Steffers once she's back. By the way, Steffers is on assignment in Washington.
Yeah, in case you haven't noticed, Steffers isn't here.
It might be interesting to do like a top 20 or so attractions across Walt Disney World for each of us, because I would like to know, if you look at that, like what percentage of the attractions in your top 10 or top 20 come from what parks, like how it would be really interesting to see that, because first of all, I think it'd be extremely difficult to rank them across the parks. That would be it's going to be a challenge to begin with, but I would love to know if your statement holds up. Like for you, are 6 of your favorite attractions going to be in your top 10 at Hollywood Studios? I don't know. That would be really cool to see.
I don't know if that would be the case, but I feel pretty confident saying I would have more attractions in my top 20 from Hollywood Studios than I would Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. Okay. I want to do this.
I will stand on business, as some people say on that statement.
Speaking of nerds, shut up, nerd.
Shut up, nerd. Go outside. Also, watch Righteous Gemstones. That's just hilarious.
I think this is a homework assignment. I think this is something we need to do.
Ooh, I love that idea. I love that.
Because I don't know that we need to rank every single attraction, but making, let's say, a top 25, because that's fun. We love college football. We love top 25s.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We should make a top 25 list, and we'll make Steffers do it because we're bullies.
And she has to do Disney. Like
I was going to say,
no E.T. No E.T. Steffers.
Even if we just do Disney, she'll put E.T. number 1 regardless.
Yes, she will. And if we tell her otherwise, she'll start stabbing people again.
And then number 2 is going to be the MCO monorail.
It's number 2 in the rankings, but number 1 in our hearts, baby.
This is just another thing that people are going to get mad at us about.
It's like, I can't believe that the monorail from MCO came in number 1. Go outside, nerd.
Oh, so fun. It's fun when you say things and you know it's going to bug people.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I guess that's what trolling is, right? That's what we call trolling.
Oh, is that what that is?
I think so. I think that's how you
neat.
Yeah. Just to get a rise out of our. And it's funny. We keep saying go outside, nerd. We're part of this too. We are nerds.
Oh,
just
most
like
definitely. Yeah. Uh-huh. I'm literally sitting around magic cards. So yes, I am most definitely several types of nerd.
I get upset about immersion and breaking that fourth wall. So listen, I'm with you. If that bothers you, I'm with you. But at the same time,
and I totally understand the people that it does bug. And it's like when it is pointed out, it's like, oh yeah, that does kind of suck. But at the same time, it's like, don't let it ruin your day at the park, because a bad day in the park is better than a day not in the park, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I need a bumper sticker that says fishing. I'd rather be in the parks.
Coming to, what's the website again?
morningmonorail.com.
There it is.
There's a link to the merch shop. Not just the Morning Monorail merch, but also the Living with the Landon merch. So get.
Oh yeah, we're still doing that thing. I actually booked my room for Living with the Landon last night. I'm gonna be down there for a damn week.
Nice. That's fun. I can't wait. It's gonna be.
So don't go flee in Florida again.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. If the Dillos are coming to town, I'm getting out. If I hear early on they're doing a meetup in April, I'm out of here.
Yeah, it's like deuces.
That was good. That was good.
Right?
No.
Nope.
Zoe loves it too.
Thank you, Zoe.
Hey, speaking of good stuff, things that we like, things we're excited about. One of the things I love is when classic attractions get much needed updates. And I am happy to report, based on this blogmickey.com article, that the Carousel of Progress in Walt Disney World at the Magic Kingdom is getting a whole new theater. Well, not really a whole new theater. New seats and new carpet. Much needed, because if you've been in there recently, before they started doing this changeover, and they're doing one theater at a time, those seats needed it. Remember before they cleaned up the seats at Muppet Vision and you just felt icky sitting in those seats because people have been sweating all day with their sunscreen and their BO and they're just getting it all soaked up in those theater seats. Those were some of the most disgusting seats, but I'd still do it anyway because # save the Muppets.
Of course.
Yeah, these Carousel of Progress seats needed an update. They needed to be replaced. And they look great. They do. Yeah. So one theater at a time. So far, only one theater has been updated. That was as of July 17th. So you're literally playing theater roulette. If you go see Carousel of Progress, you don't know if you're going to get the new seats or the old seats. And you'll
definitely be able to tell if you get the old seats, especially if you've seen what the new seats look like. And I never thought me being a almost 40-year-old man be like, man, those seats look good, but they do, especially compared to what the old ones look like. You can tell they've been there since probably LBJ's presidency. They're rough, let's just say. Also, I don't think I realized that there are 6 different theaters that are participating, so to speak, in the Carousel of Progress.
Yeah. That ride has a deceptively high capacity. Constantly,
that truly is a people eater.
Yeah. I don't know how many each theater seats, but I'm going to say at least 100.
Oh, well over 100. It has to be well over 100. I mean, just looking at the pictures of these seats, I mean, you could probably...
If it's 7 rows of 30, that's 200 people.
So. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And that, yeah... It has to be well over 100, but it's again, I love the aesthetic, the fashion that these seats have. Now, granted, they're not, ripping the whole thing out and putting in new seats. They're just giving it a new look, but it's as opposed to the old, drab, gray seats that we had previously, these have kind of like a 50s, chic kind of feel to it. I dig it. Yeah. I dig it. And again, as a near 40-year-old man, I never thought I'd be commenting and saying that these seats look good. But I mean, yeah, they do. I dig it. And it's very appropriate, I think, for the Carousel of Progress as an attraction because you do kind of go through the eras of, progress. And I think these seats definitely feel like they're from one of those eras.
Yeah, I agree. So very good. Excited to see a classic attraction getting some love. We love to see. Yeah. So that was really the parks news from the Disney parks this week I wanted to share. I did throw in this article from touringplans.com, and this is called Disney Data Dump, July 17th, 2024. And the reason I threw this in here today, and the writer, I'll give her credit, her name's Becky Gandelin, I think is how you'd say that.
Shout out to Becky.
I threw it in because I thought that the attraction downtime section was kind of interesting to me. So one of the things that, of course, Touring Plans tracks times waiting in line when attractions are open or closed, all sorts of data. If there's data coming from the parks, the Touring Plans people track it. And the downtime is a serious thing because you lose park capacity when attractions go down, especially for long periods of time. So in this section, she said attraction downtime July 9th through the 15th. If we average all the capacity lost due to unexpected downtime over the past week, it comes out to 4.6% of attractions unexpectedly being down. That's pretty in line with the historical average for summer, thanks to rainy afternoons. Oddly, Animal Kingdom was the park with the worst downtime issues, losing 7.6% of its capacity due to unexpected downtime. And apparently, the biggest offender of them all was Kali River Rapids, which
I really thought you were going to say there are animals in the road for the safari.
Yeah, it's not the safari.
Kali River Rapids. Wow.
Yeah, it was down 28% of the time. Over a quarter of the time that it was supposed to be open, it was down less.
Y'all,
and I don't think you can just say that's weather.
No. I mean, like weather, most definitely, because it's Florida. Weather had a hand in it, but a quarter of the time it was running.
Right. And actually, she says in this paragraph, like other outdoor attractions, this ride is susceptible to weather-related closures. But something else was happening here, too, because the outdoor attraction with the next highest amount of downtime for the week was Slinky Dog, and it only had 16% downtime. So,
I mean, I guess in the scheme of things, 16% of the time is not great, but compared to Kali River Rapids being down a quarter of the time it was running,
yeah.
Also, Kali River, y'all, you can go to an attraction like that at any theme park in America, y'all. Like you're in Animal Kingdom. Like go stand in line for Flight of Passage or Navi River Journey or Festival of the Lion King or as the previously mentioned, if animals aren't in the road, the daggone safari. Come on,
right.
y'all.
Yep.
Go see the Disco Yeti.
Here's an interesting little tidbit. Wait times July 9th to the 15th with the attractions with the highest average posted wait at each park. Hollywood Studios, it was Slinky Dog Dash, average posted wait of 70 minutes. Animal Kingdom Flight of Passage, the average posted wait time was 88 minutes.
Oof.
Yeah. Epcot, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, the average posted wait time was 58 minutes. And then at Magic Kingdom, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, average posted wait time of 60 minutes. So the only one there that kind of surprises me is that Hollywood Studios, the winner was Slinky Dog.
Because I really thought term, sure, we'll go with it.
It's an example of when you can be a winner and a loser at the same time. I thought that would be Rise of the Resistance that would have the highest average wait time. The thing about it is, has Rise been doing better operationally lately? Because early on in the early days of Rise of the Resistance, that ride was down a lot, and even when they get it running, it can be in B mode, but at least it's running where you don't get all the special effects. I would love to know how Rise is doing. Has it gotten better and more efficient, or just more uptime overall? I would love to see that on a graph. I need that graphically displayed for me, please.
Well, and also remember they've started introducing single rider to Rise of the Resistance. So maybe Disney does feel confident that they tightened those screws, so to speak, and they got Rise running to where they feel confident in it.
Yeah.
And I'll say the last time I was down at Studios, it was only a 40-ish minute, I think, wait for Rise of the Resistance, which I was totally down to stand in line for. And it was running in A mode, which I felt like was the first time I'd seen it run in A mode, minus the, cannons that just are they turned that one off permanently. But I felt like that was the first time I'd seen it run in A mode since either opening day or very close to opening day.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll catch it every now and then, but it's just not uncommon for like a chunk of those attractions to just not be working.
All right, real quick, I'm going to put you on the spot. Impromptu fast pass standby snack break of the highest average posted waiting times. What are you going to wait in line for of what you just rattled out? Hollywood Studios Slinky Dog at 70 minutes, Animal Kingdom Flight of Passage at 88, Epcot Remy's Ratatouille at 58 minutes, or Magic Kingdom Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at 60 minutes.
That is a tough question.
Because I mean, like you're waiting an hour at least.
Yeah,
at
waiting
least.
I think for the bang for the buck, and then also considering the queue, like what conditions you're going to be in the queue, I think I'm going to fast pass Flight of Passage.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and also there's a bathroom midway through that queue, so that's nice.
I mean, you're going to need it. You're waiting almost an hour and a half, so.
Yeah. I will stand by. So that leaves me with Remy, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and Slinky. I'll stand by. I'm going to stand by Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. And then I'll snack break Slinky, because even though I like Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, that's one of those that I just don't. It's sort of like Peter Pan's Flight to me. I don't understand how it still has such a long wait, because it is mostly like, it's cool. The effects are pretty cool, but I feel like it's mostly for kids, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think I would leave that one off the list.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
The only thing that surprised me on that one was because you mentioned the queue, Flight of Passage, because once you get inside, like, outside of the lab, quote unquote, it is cool. But before that, man, that queue it's kind of not great. It's like, all right, we're standing in a cave.
Yeah, and then
we're standing in another part of a cave.
Yeah.
Guys, look, we're in another part of a cave.
Well, then you kind of go in a forest that sort of reminds you of the E.T. queue, and that's fun. Right before the lab.
And then it gets cool. But at that point, you're already like 50 minutes in, and you've given up the will to live. You want to kill everybody in your party. You're eyeballing. It's like, hey, can I join up with y'all? And then you realize, no, you can't. So you have to stay with the people you came with. And then it's like, how much longer do I have? It's like 40 minutes. It's like, damn. It's like, can I get DoorDash here? No, you can't. So,
yeah, I don't know. But on the flip side of that, like, what are you looking at in the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train queue until you get inside? You're outside for a lot of it. And then
that is true. And you are exposed. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Once you get inside, there are some cool things like in the mine, some interactive kind of things, but I think you're outside for a larger portion of that queue. And then Remy, there's a lot of it that's covered or indoors, but I think that queue is pretty boring.
Well, and speaking of being exposed in the queue, I mean, until you get right to the queue, I mean, Slinky Dog, you're roasting.
Yeah, they did add some shades to the extended area, but it's still, you're outside and it's hot. And Slinky, I do love that roller coaster. I think it's a lot of fun. But I do consider it to be more of like it's a kid's coaster. It's like a transition.
And that
coaster.
is not a slight.
No, it's not. I think it's a well executed coaster for kids, really. And I still enjoy it. The double launch is so fun and the theming is great, but I'd rather ride it at night because you get the good views and you don't have to stand out in the heat. So
co-signed.
We all agree. All right, let's turn it over to Steffers for. Oh, wait a minute.
Ah,
wah, wah, wah. We're gonna have to handle this across the Universal ourselves.
I don't like this though. It's totally feels on brand that the week that Steffers is out, Universal decides to step up their game and finally start announcing scare zones for Halloween Horror Nights. So Torture Fair. Torture Fair. Does that do anything for y'all, you weirdos that like going to a Halloween Horror Night? Because that is going to be an original scare zone from Universal. Quote, "Come one, come all to the Renaissance Fair, brave, glorious, gory medieval torture devices till you put you out of your misery," end quote. So it sounds like it's going to be a medieval style scare zone.
I think so.
Fair. Torture Fair.
Yeah. My first thought, and it's funny because I think that Frank has already started like putting this out on social media, was, can we get Lenny Burrows to make an appearance?
That'd be great. Yeah. That might be the one thing that gets me back to Halloween Horror Night is if Lenny Burrows makes his grand appearance and grand finale, I'm guessing, for Halloween Horror Night.
Oh, Lenny is a master of revels, so I could see him walking around and like being the carnival barker for all these torture devices. Like, I could totally see Lenny fitting in there, but that would be fun. But
yep, you hear that, Universal? That is the way that you get Landon the Doz Dones Shrekels, as we termed it on last week's show, back for Halloween Horror Nights, is if you bring on Lenny Burrows for Halloween Horror Nights 33, taking place August 30th through November 3rd.
Yeah, and by the way, Frank will be in town in September, so he could totally make an appearance.
Is he? I haven't heard about that. Jay, how do you feel?
I'm mad. Mad about it. I am PO'd. No, but I think that'll be cool. And also, we know one of the original houses this year is Goblin Feast. So I'm wondering if this will sort of be near Goblin Feast, because I feel like they could get some cohesion there between the scares and the house.
It's not
Goblin's Feast?
What's it called? It's Goblin Ding Dong.
Goblin Ding?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm always going to say it.
All right. Okay, you want to tell us about the next one? Because you got that. You did so well with that first scare zone.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Another scare zone is being announced. Swamp of the Undead. Ooh, that sounds fun. Universal released a statement saying, quote, "In the backwaters of Louisiana, you're about to be swamped by zombies born from the bodies of trespassers killed and dumped into a nearby bog."
Whoa.
End quote.
Wow. Okay. So this
sounds neat.
This is very Florida, even though it says Louisiana. We got swamps and gators down here too. So
not like in the swamps of Louisiana. Go Tigers.
I'll tell you this. The food possibilities are making
I hadn't even thought of that. Oh, damn. Yeah, they always break it out for Mardi Gras. Are we going to see some of the Mardi Gras menu?
I hope so.
That'd be dope. That would be dope.
We haven't really gotten into this that much because I think we were sort of waiting for all the houses to be announced.
Wait, does that mean they're like going to put like red food color in it to make it be like, oh, this is a blood shrimp boil, and put what looks like intestines and it's like, oh, this is red beans, guts, and rice or Universal, who hurt you?
I'm sure that we will get some gore in those food items, which it's
disgusting. It is gross.
It is hard for me to eat food that looks gross. It's very hard. I don't want to put it in my mouth.
Universal, you need therapy.
It's true. We all do.
I mean, yes, we all do need therapy, but Universal, I mean, like, y'all need therapy. I mean, you're very good at what you do. Do not get me wrong, but damn.
Yeah. I'm excited, but again, I'm excited for the food possibilities because I want some jambalaya, some spooky jambalaya down there.
That's what they'll call it, spooky jambalaya.
Yeah. give me a large order of spooky jambalaya and maybe some gory etouffee. I'll take it both.
Gory etouffee.
Yeah. I couldn't come up with anything more creative.
Yeah,
than that.
I'm racking my gory etouffee. Pass. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Pass.
Sorry, y'all. I let y'all down on that. I do like spooky jambalaya. It's simple and straight to the point, and you know exactly what you're getting. Maybe it'll be served with like a ghost in it or something. Like it's a cake,
a ghost,
like a cupcake. They just topper.
they just tell you, they're like, there's a ghost in this jambalaya. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's it.
Just every team member's like, there's a ghost in this here jambalaya, boy. They have a specific team member handing it out who says that. It's like, all right, cool. You know, a job's a job. Speaking of jobs, they did announce that Nightmare Fuel, the Nocturnal Circus, will be setting the stage ablaze at this year's Halloween Horror Night. So there's that. Bill and Ted's not making it back this year. Sorry, y'all. If you were holding out hopes that this would be the year that Bill and Ted would make their excellent return, hold out hope for next year. But the Nightmare Fuel will once again be taking stage in front of the Fear Factory Live Amphitheater. Amphitheater. Did I say amphitheater?
You said, yeah, and you
phenomenal. This is going great. This is going great.
Took a lot of liberties with that one, Landon, because I think you said Fear Factory as well. So
yes, Fear Factory is also going to be there. The band, they're going to be performing at Fear Halloween Horror Night and SeaWorld's Eat to the Beat. So you see what I did there?
I got you.
Thank you.
It's interesting. There's been a mixed reaction to this announcement because I think some people are a little bit tired of the Nightmare Fuel show, but I guess their Universal's way to kind of keep this fresh is making it the Nocturnal Circus. The funny thing about it was most of the action that was on stage during Nightmare Fuel was just like watching a Cirque du Soleil act before. So now it's like, are they dropping the whole facade of, you know, this was in someone's nightmare and all this kind of stuff, and now it's just going to be like, okay, now you're just at a crazy, sexy, fiery circus.
I mean, to be fair, that's how you describe most of my dreams: a crazy, sexy, fiery circus. So
yeah, I mean, I like the show personally. I would love it if they would do something like, you know, do a Beetlejuice show or even...
Oh, that would be fun and totally appropriate since Beetlejuice 2 is, by the way, we said his name twice. So don't do it again. Dropping September. By the way, here is the official release from Universal. Quote, "Step right up to a dark universe, a new nightmare that carries with it a sinister curse. It's a thrilling spectacle of pyro and aerialists." End quote.
Yep. So if you've never seen this... there is a stage that goes completely unused in Universal Studios. It's over by Men in Black. It's way in the back. And this, I guess they used to do a Fear Factor live show there.
No, it's Fear Factory.
Fear Factory live. And since 2021, the Nightmare Fuel show has taken over. And one thing I know about it is it's like totally managed, produced by a third party. So Universal doesn't even... Yeah, they just hire this Nightmare Fuel. It's like the Fuel Girls, I think is the name of the company. And they hire them and they just let them take over. They probably give them some direction and they're like, hey, we want this to be some kind of a haunted show or spooky show, whatever. But I would say that they are probably saving themselves some production cost just by outsourcing this. And maybe they feel like they're getting a better show this way. But I think the Academy of Villains show that happened before Nightmare Fuel took over, and then also, of course, the Bill and Ted show, it ran for 26 years, Bill and Ted.
Damn. And honestly, it's like, I kind of feel like, and I say this as somebody who is very, very admittedly not a Halloween Horror Nights fan. I feel like Halloween Horror Nights needs something like what Bill and Ted's was, something that kind of pokes fun and is like very self-aware and kind of for the lack of a but, takes the piss out of the whole situation. Because, I mean, like, Halloween Horror Nights takes itself very seriously.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
If me and Lindsay knew that there was a Bill and Ted show where we could have gone and laughed at the spooky monsters, we would have had an infinitely better time. Now, granted, we would have had to fight through like murder babies to get there, of course, but still.
Yeah, because it's all the way in the back. You would have had to go through extra scare zones.
Yeah. We would have literally had to go through the entire damn park, and at that point, it's like, nope, we're still staying at Finnegan's. Which, by the way, that is my favorite Halloween Horror Nights attraction.
Yeah, it's a nice little haven for those that get overwhelmed, for sure. So, I don't know. I guess I like the Nightmare Fuel show. I'm sad that I never got to see Bill and Ted, and I would like to see something like because they used to have like a Beetlejuice musical review kind of show in the parks that was there. I think it was year round in the studios. I don't know. I feel like you could kind of do something with that. Also, I would love to see, I think the Academy of Villains, I'm not sure if that was the one that included Jack, but bring in the icons from Halloween Horror Nights and let them have like some portion of the show.
Oh, that would be great. Yes.
Build more lore and backstory with the icons, and that would be really cool. I would like to see that. So
that would be so cool.
Yeah. But anyways.
And I say that as somebody who, again, is not a Halloween Horror Nights fan. What they do with their icons and the lore and the story for that is so amazing.
It's great. Yeah. It's some of the best parts of Universal is the building of the lore and the storytelling at Halloween Horror Nights. It's really, really good.
Again, just because it's not for me does not mean I recognize how good it is. And Universal knocks it out of the park every dang year, even though I'm a big, giant scaredy man. So
it's all right. It's all right. Someday, I feel like you might overcome this. If there's a house that's intriguing enough for you, I think that you might try. And I would be there right by your side. I'll hold your hand, buddy, the whole time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. If they do Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors, I am there for it. But I don't think they will.
That's the one. That's the one thing.
Yeah. That and Fallout.
All right.
Next year, Fallout. Anyway. I'm calling it. I'm calling my shot. Landon the Doz Stone. I am standing on that business. Go outside, nerd. Which, hey, Uncle Baby Billy was also the ghoul in the Fallout show. So there you go. Shout out to Walter Goggins. He's a hell of a talent. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's really, really good. I'm excited to see where they go with that show, and I'm glad he's going to be part of it for sure.
Yeah.
So that's all the Universal news this week. Before we close up the headlines, of course, we have to talk about SeaWorld because we're the official podcast of SeaWorld
They
Orlando.
Got a penguin sipper.
Yeah, that's really the news.
And that's it.
On Friday, I went over with Cocktail Bob and his lovely wife, Christina, and Casey, and some of the nephews, Bob and Christina's nephews, and we got to spend some time in the parks. And I don't know if I should spoil it if this is supposed to be a surprise. We did find that penguin sipper. However, we were under the impression you could get adult drinks in the penguin sipper, and that is not allowed. They won't do it. So
really?
Yeah. They will not let you put any kind of alcohol in the cocktail or in the cocktails in the penguin sipper. So we just got soda, but we did purchase one. Cocktail Bob has it, and it's coming to a Steffers near you very soon. So she can look forward to that while she's having a good time signing autographs in Washington.
That reminds me. I have a care package I got to send to Steffers. It's been like several years in the making.
Same. Me too. I got one to send to you.
Yeah. Shipping's expensive, y'all.
So to round out the show today, I just wanted to do a quick mention of this Vulture article. God
there
bless.
Dude, talking's hard. I get it.
Vulture posted an article. Let's see. This came out on July 17th by Bethy Squires, a Vulture News blogger who covers comedy. This is not comedy, but she specifically decided to go ahead and do the ultimate theme park showdown, Disney versus Universal, in this blog. Vulture is one of these websites where they'll let you view an article like 1 or 2 times, and then you have to pay to ever view anything ever again.
I'm actually having to open it on my phone because apparently I've reached my limit on my browser on the computer. So, to Jay's point, thanks, Vulture.
Yeah. So, and I'm not trying to get anybody to sign up for Vulture, but really the only thing...
Absolutely not. They want like $50 a year? Hell no.
I just thought that this was interesting. And, I posted this in the Facebook. I posted it on Twitter as a discussion point, because here's the thing. We always say on this podcast, it's not Disney versus Universal. It's Disney and Universal. We used to do that whole, it was a gimmick, like the park down the street making fun of Universal. But really, we can appreciate everything. All the parks, Six Flags, Knott's Berry Farm, Cedar Point, the Cedar Fairs parks, whatever it may be. We can appreciate all these parks because they all bring something different to the table. And every park is someone's favorite park. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. And some people are going to be much more into what Universal does. Some people are going to be much more into what Disney does. However, I do think that there's interesting discussion to be had around some of the things like the hotels, the food. They do attractions. They do all sorts of things in this article. I was very, very surprised by some of their picks about who they thought won between the two. And again, this article, it is supposed to represent both the East and West Coast parks for Universal and Walt Disney World. It seems to have kind of a more of a lean towards the California parks. That's probably more of what these people have experienced. But that being said, they do open it up and they talk about both coasts, which means you need to factor in everything. I really felt like in some of these categories that they are not, because I'm not sure how you can say hotel wise that Universal wins, because on the West Coast, they don't even have resort hotels. Mm-hmm. They just have them on the East Coast, but that's who they pick. Universal, win in Orlando, visit the Disney resorts, but stay at Universal. That's what they say.
I mean, speaking on the Universal hotels, this is a literal quote. Universal's Hollywood hotels leave a lot to be desired, but at least one of them is the death side of Telly Savalas.
Yeah.
But so still, to Jay's point, Universal wins that. It's the only thing I can think is maybe it has to be price point. It's don't get me wrong. It's Universal has some killer hotels and Disney has some also killer hotels, but are very expensive. But I mean, if you're taking into account both coasts, it's what's going on the left coast? Literally what they cite is somebody died over here. But it wins.
It wins. Yeah. And apparently one of the Vulture writers, Rebecca Alter, once went on record on Slack to name Universal Orlando's Cabana Bay as her favorite hotel on earth. And as someone who's stayed at Cabana Bay 3 times now, I will tell you this. It's fine. The service there leaves something to be desired if you're looking for something that's a little more... if you're going fully on price, I totally get it. But I can't imagine that being someone's favorite hotel on earth. That's a and we're not even just talking theme park hotels. Every hotel on earth, that's your favorite? That's interesting to me. I don't know. But again, they do they rate the ride, one of the categories is rides, the immersion and attention to detail, intellectual property. Food, they give Disney the nod there, and I think that is fair because
I think they have to. It's that's been one of my biggest complaints whenever I go to Universal. It's there's a lot to really like about Universal, but when it comes to their food, I particularly in the parks, I think Universal has a lot of ground to gain on Disney when it comes to park food. Don't get me wrong. One of my favorite places to eat in Orlando is Big Fire, or as me and the Smoking Hot Girlfriend jokingly refer to it, Big Fire. That is a phenomenal place to eat, and I mean, that's been the site of several meals for me and her, or her and I, if I want to say that correctly. But it's in park. Ooh, Do you want the Homer Simpson donut? Do you want the big giant turkey leg, or question mark?
There are some hidden gems, but you really have to know where you're going and what to get for sure. At Disney, I mean, quick service is quick service. We can argue about that all day. But if you're lining up table service, even though Mythos has a big banner outside that says
it's the best restaurant in the world,
anybody can hang a banner. Just ask UCF. But it doesn't mean that anyone actually believes it or it's true. So
stop.
Zoe's into that.
You broke me. Sorry.
All right. I just think, I don't know. Anyway, I don't think that's much of a debate. Now, here's maybe one of the categories I take the most umbrage with. Booze. Okay. So they have their reasoning, whatever. They say Disney's weird about alcohol because Walt didn't want it in the castle parks. That's true, but there are drinks everywhere.
Yeah.
And then they said, all that being said, the Disney tiki bars on both coats, they said instead of coast, but they meant coast.
Oh, that does say coats.
are S tier, which I think means the best.
Yes, S tier when it comes to like video games, S tier is top. Also, Vulture, it's like you want people to pay $50 to view your articles, and you can't proofread it to where it says coasts and not coats.
Tiki bars on both coats. But then they say, this is where I lose all credibility or Vulture loses all credibility. The bars are incredible. Moe's and Hogshead in Harry Potter World. What? Those are your examples of incredible bars?
As somebody who is a lifelong Simpsons fan and had a dream come true drinking a Duff beer in Moe's, I will fully admit to that. That once Moe's is cool. Moe's is fine. But it does not hold a candle to what Disney does when it comes to the bars in Epcot. It does not hold a candle to what the bars are in Hollywood Studios. And Nomad Lounge. Does Nomad Lounge not mean a thing to you, Vulture? Again, we are a Disney and Universal family over here on the monorail, but that is egregious. And I know a few things in this life, and one of those things is alcohol and theme parks. Vulture, do not come at me with this noise.
Let me tell you, there's two reasons that make those bars lose points. Number one, at Moe's, the Flaming Moe is non-alcoholic.
Yeah, it's what, like orange soda with dry ice in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So come on. Number two, you can't put any alcohol into a butterbeer. So
I mean, butterbeer's good, but you're right.
I mean, and those are two of your big headline drinks at Hogshead and at Moe's. And then otherwise, it's beer. And the beer, they do have like interesting beer in Harry Potter World. And of course, like you said, you can get Duff beer at Moe's. Great, but it's limited. I don't know how you could say those are like the standard or setting the bar.
You could also get Duff Dry, as a matter of fact. So,
and I do love the seasonal. I love the Oktoberfest.
Oh yeah,
Duff. That's good stuff.
That is good. But again, to your point, it's just beer. So if you don't like beer, guess what? Moe's ain't on your radar. Or unless you're a Simpsons fan, Moe's ain't on your radar. And also, it's like it takes away from the ambiance because it's open to that whole like cafeteria feel that's going on in Simpsons land or in Springfield. Yeah. It's like it doesn't feel like a true bar.
Right.
And seating in both Moe's and Hogshead are a hell of a like impossible to come by.
Yeah, forget about it.
Yeah, it's like, do you and your party, like 1-2 people want to hang out in Moe's? Well, if you get a table, you're going to share it with that proverbial family of 4 from Colorado that Bob Chapek was talking about. Because unless you get lucky and get that spot on the bar, I mean, like, and then Hogshead is, holy Lord. It's like, I've never, ever sat inside Hogshead. I always have to go outside onto the overflow just because I know, like I can get a seat out there. Yeah. Never inside.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just calling into question. Actually, what I really want to do with this conversation is say everybody's opinions are valid, but this is where I get into very much this whole issue that I have with saying best versus favorite. You can say Universal is your favorite when it comes to bars. Great. But it is not the best, not objectively. Mm-mm. You can say Universal's the best when it comes to holidays, but that is very subjective. Like,
have you listened to this podcast?
Exactly. Landon, because their whole thing is Halloween Horror Nights. Yep. That's great if you love it, but if you don't, there's no way you're participating in that.
Yeah, it's like Jay and Steffers, they love Halloween Horror Night, or as I lovingly refer to it, J Mark Tape. Mickey's scary as Halloween night. Yeah. So that is not my speed. That is not my speed. My speed is Mickey's not so scary Halloween Horror Night. So
exactly. So anyway, that's sort of the point. Jeremy took issue when I posted this in the Facebook, and he's like, why do we even have to have this discussion? Why can't it be it's different strokes for different folks and they're all good? The thing is, I totally agree with that. I just posted it because it was something that we can talk about, and we can all agree that we have different opinions and they're all valid. Mm-hmm. That's all.
And to the point that you made is like, everybody can have their favorite and everybody is entitled to have their favorite, but to come out and say this is the best. Yeah. And also when you said this is a comedy writer, that framed this article, and it's like, this makes sense now because there are so many times I originally, when I was reading this article, like, I'm pretty sure most of the East Coast could feel me roll my eyes when I was reading through this article. It's like, lore. She starts it out Disney. Walt. It's all Walt all the time. Walt's chili. Walt's special lamp. Walt's frozen head. Walt's favorite drink, scotch over. It's like, it's like, okay, we get it. You're trying to be edgy. It's like save it for your MySpace blog.
Well, they do say Disney wins in that category, which is funny because, yes, the Walt stuff's heavy in the parks, as it should be. I mean, they're his parks. He created this whole thing. But if you want to talk about the rides and the story, like, that's what Disney's all about. It's not just Walt. It's everything has a story.
So, yeah. It's like this writer, I feel like, was kind of disingenuous in her angle that she took.
Yeah.
And that's just what I believe, having read through the article, having experienced at least what's happening on the East Coast parks. I haven't experienced the left coast. So I will admit that, but it's like, I think she was being snarky for the sake of being snarky when it came to that article.
Probably. I know it's not like going to get you any clicks or views or, go viral to be like, why can't we all just get along? Everybody wants to have a hot take, and that's sort of what this is. But as I've gotten older, my whole thing has been like, I mean, everybody's allowed to like what they like.
Exactly. Yep.
And we all like different things, and that's fine. It doesn't matter.
Agreed.
Like, it does drive me crazy. Like these Star Wars series that come out, people are like, they have very strong opinions about what it does to Star Wars, and it's like, guys,
the Acolyte is ruining the Star Wars. It's like, okay, well, it's not for you. Just move on.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, it's like, it's not going to take away from the feeling you had when you first watched the original trilogy back in the day. It's just telling other stories out there in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah,
it doesn't minus what Luke Skywalker did. The fact that Grogu and the Mando were out there doing their thing. Like, it's fine, y'all.
Yeah. So now I'm at the stage of my life when I'm on social media and I see someone say most underrated or most overrated thing or whatever. I immediately, I'm like, okay. I mean,
buddy, my block button on the Bird app has gotten so much use. Let me tell you.
It may be overrated to you, but that's called an opinion.
Yep. And opinions are just that, not facts.
I feel like this whole last part of the show can just be encapsulated with like old man yells at cloud. that meme. That's us. That's fine.
Well, hey, you know what? That's a Simpson meme. We can tie it back into how Moe's is fine, but it's not the best bar in Orlando. So full circle.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll wrap it up there. We've grumped enough for a day, and I feel better. I hope you do too.
We stood on business, Jay.
We stood on business.
Go outside, nerd.
Hey, Lana, before we get done here, I think that you've got to tell people all about, if they hadn't heard yet, or just remind them all about Living with the Landon.
Oh, you mean Living with the Landon coming up April 1st, 2025, where I, Landon Doan, turn 40 years old, and to celebrate said birthday, because I'm normally not a birthday guy, but, it's the 40th edition of it, so to speak. I'm heading down to Epcot, and from grand opening to grand closing, I will be riding Living with the Land as many times as I can. And the reason I'm doing that is to raise money for Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again right now. I think y'all are the best podcasting fans in the business, and I want to put your money where my mouth is. We're going to be raising money for Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee. Every time that I ride Living with the Land, you will pledge money, and yeah, we're calling it Living with the Landon. There's a merch shop available at bonfire.com. Search Living with the Landon. Or, Jay, maybe is there a website that they could go to that leads them to that shop?
I believe there is, Landon, and that would be morningmonorail.com. Visit morningmonorail.com. On the homepage, we've got links to the Living with the Landon merch shop. And also, Landon's got a nice write-up where he kind of tells you all about what he's raising money for and his motivation and all that stuff. It's a good read, so go check that out.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, head over to the Monday Morning Monorail website to check out that link. Also, kind of a lengthy read as to why I'm doing that. But yeah, we're going to be raising money to feed some kids in East Tennessee, because every dollar raised in the Living with the Landon fundraiser is earmarked for the Food for Kids program of Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee, where they help feed now 15,000 kids in East Tennessee, giving them food to eat over the weekend, where normally, they rely on school to give them that breakfast and lunch that they rely on. Second Harvest stands in the gap where otherwise they would just go hungry. And I look forward to your help, and I look forward to doing this to help out kids that need help, to be quite honest. Second Harvest is an incredible program. I mentioned it last week. Every dollar that you give to Second Harvest, they take 95 cents of that dollar and turn it around and put it into giving food and putting food on table for people that need it. They can take that dollar and turn it into 3 meals. $1 equals 3 meals. So if you can give $1, if you can give 5, you can give 10, whatever you can give, I thank you in advance. And go buy merch. We got coffee mugs. We got t-shirts, 2 types of t-shirts, hoodies as well. But yeah, go check out the website. Go get your merch, Living with the Landon. And I booked my hotel for next year. So, this thing's happening, and I'm very excited to do it. A little anxious, a little scared, but more excited to do it. And I look forward to having y'all on the ride with me.
It's going to be great. It's going to go beautifully. And I think even if we raise a single dollar for this charity, that's more than they had before. And
we've raised $22 according to the Bonfire website.
That's great. It's a great start.
I'd like that number to be a little bit higher.
It's going to get there.
Hint.
People, I think people, they know that this fundraising event is going on for a little while, so they probably feel like they have time. But sure, anything that you can give, if you want to buy merch or if you just want to donate, we'll get it set up really soon where you can go to the website and donate. So keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah. Been talking with Second Harvest. We will have a page where if you just want to donate straight to Second Harvest in the name of the Living with the Landon program, you can do that. But it's like, why not get some merch? We have a really dope logo. And you can wear that around. People be like, hey, look at that sexy person over there wearing that fun shirt over there. I'm going to walk over and say, hey, sexy person, what's going on? What's going on with this t-shirt? And then you can tell them about living with the Landon. And then we spread the word. And you get a dope t-shirt out of it. So not only does Second Harvest get money, you get something, you sexy person. And you are my favorite member of the Monorail fam.
Absolutely. A couple of things I want to mention before we get out the door. Our friend Natalie has launched a brand new podcast. And if you heard Natalie either here on the Monday Morning Monorail or on the Pass Floor Lounge, you know she is a Run Disney fiend. She's always running. She never stops running. So she
can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah, she's joined up with a friend, and they've started a show called the Stride Sisters Podcast. So check that out.
Oh, that's a really cool name.
Yeah, and they got a cool logo as well. So go look for Stride Sisters. Also, Steph isn't here to let you know that you should be listening to Sippin' and Bitchin', so I'll do that for her on her behalf. If you like books or you want to hear people talk to you about books, go check out Sippin' and Bitchin'. But you know what? I'm just happy that you're here listening to the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. And if you want to get more involved in this community, you can do that. We have a Facebook group called the Monday Morning Monorail Family. We have a Discord that you can join. There's a static link on the Facebook group, or just send me a note. Go check out that website, morningmonorail.com. We're on the socials at Morning Monorail, Twitter and Instagram, so you can follow us there. Please tell your friends. We just got a brand new review on the iTunes from one of the members of the Monorail family, who's now my favorite member of the Monorail family.
Dang it, people are just stealing my gimmick. What the H? Oh, come on.
I was going to ask permission, but then I just went for it anyway.
These are the conditions that I record in, ladies and gentlemen. Please pray for me. These are trying times.
Hostile conditions, for sure. But no, I mean, we appreciate the reviews mean a lot to us, and I don't always campaign for them. Maybe I should. I probably should ask for them a little bit more. But if you take a little moment and go review the show, give us 5 stars on whatever your preferred listening app may be, and write a little note, it means a lot. It tugs at the heartstrings, and then if you do it, we're happy to give you a little shout out right here.
Mm-hmm. And if you've given a review in the past, I know this podcast feed has gone through changes, let's just say, from time to time. Go back and refresh it, because that does help the algorithm, does help get us in front of eyes. And Jay says he hasn't requested reviews. Maybe I will gladly beg you for 5 stars. And in fact, I will say that Jay will give you money for 5 stars.
I won't. You can say that, but I won't.
And I will. Jay will give you money out of his wallet for 5-star reviews. Go to the podcast feed and say, Jay gave me money for this.
No, please don't do.
Okay, don't do that. Do not do that.
That illegitimizes the reviews.
Yeah, I cannot emphasize it. Staffers, why would you say that?
No, but again, shout out to Chelsea. Thank you, Chelsea. And I want to read this real quick. She said, highly recommend. Love this podcast. Instantly became a favorite. I love Disney, but I also enjoy hearing all about Universal too, and SeaWorld. And she gave a little wink. The hosts honestly just feel like people I would love to hang out with, and I find myself really wanting to be a part of their conversation. Not everyone around me is obsessed with the parks of Orlando like me, and on Mondays, I look forward to listening to those who are just as excited as I am. Great job. Thanks, Chelsea.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
And like I said when I posted it, when we see something like that, it just makes us feel like, man, we're doing something correctly, I think. And that's great. It makes us feel great. So
we're definitely doing something. I don't know about correctly, but we're definitely doing something.
All right, Landon. Speaking of Twitter and all that, I think you've got something that you might want to say or possibly sing.
Oh, you mean LANDOZ, please go follow me, Landon Doan, I'm the best, Landon Doan, not the rest. That's where you can follow me 280 characters at a time on Twitter. I also run a website, buttmunchchips.com, buttmunchchips.
Sit on your butt and munch.
But don't go there because it's still in a state of disrepair. Instead of that, hey, Jay, is there a website that maybe if people wanted to get merchandise for Living with the Landon, merchandise for this fine podcast, or maybe if they wanted to read blogs on the theme parks that we just talked about, is there a website that they could go to?
Absolutely. It's called morningmonorail.com. And Steffers spruced it up for us this past week, which is why I'm pushing it so hard. It looks great. We finally at least have a picture with the three of us, even though it was a virtual picture on there. But yeah, we're going to continue to keep upgrading and updating that. So, check us out. Be part of the fam.
Yeah, be part of the fam. But I also appear on the Phil Show, News Talk 98.7 WOKI radio station locally here in Knoxville, Tennessee, streaming 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at newstalk987.com. Also available in the iHeartRadio app and the News Talk 987 app as well. Also available wherever you get your podcasts. Search Phil Show, News Talk 987, and get in on the fun because, at least I'm fun. I can't speak for my talent, but, I bring it. Him, not so much.
I really contribute nothing around here.
Oh, don't sell yourself short, Papa Monorail. You're great on the Phil Show.
I bring the zaddy vibes.
No. We are not doing that. No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for listening. Please come back next week and bring some friends with you. We love you all so much. Until then, thank a team member, thank a cast member, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.